On episode 63 of Chit Chat, we get to know two of our newest MVM contributors. Ryan and I will put them to the test with some mostly friendly games. And finally, we'll chat about a different sort of lockdown than we're all used to these days.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 63 of Chit Chat. I'm here with David and some new faces.
Yes, this is episode 63 and we have a couple of guests. As you can tell, this is not Jeremy and it's not Kira. It is Mark and Brittany Maya of Board Game Coffee and more recently of Man vs. Meeple. They've started contributing to the channel. They have a show called Playdates, which thus far has focused on couples playing games. I'll have them tell you a little bit more about that throughout the episode. We're going to do a lot of interesting things here. Mark and Brittany, welcome. You want to say hi to everyone before we get going?
Ladies first. Hi, everyone. Thanks for today. So excited to play some games.
Yeah, I was going to say, so be a little forgiving for Brittany. Brittany and Mark are sharing an audio source. There's a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we found a workaround. So I'm happy that we were still able to do this.
Yeah, and that workaround is that Brittany yell until she can't speak anymore.
That's right.
So that is what's going to be happening. So take sympathy with Brittany. She's going to be yelling. But they're going to be here. We're going to play a little JackBox game called Fibbage here in a second. But we're also going to have some normal conversation just like we do every Chit Chat. Before we do any of that, though, Ryan, do you have a winner from last episode?
Yes, I do have a winner from last episode. I'm going to pull it up. You should be seeing it on the screen right now. Congratulations, Dan Seitz. You have won Nova Luna. So please email us at manvsmeeple@gmail.com and we will get your prize out to you. And we have something, what I would say is fairly exciting to give away this week.
It is fairly exciting, but before we get to that, because I want to tease it a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
Nova Luna, congratulations for sure, because it was nominated this year in the Spiel des Arts. Have you guys had a chance? I'm putting you on the spot. They may not have played it. Have you played Nova Luna?
We have not played Nova Luna.
You've got to try it. It is a great little tile placement game, and it was just nominated. We did last week's episode was on the Spiel des Arts. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Nominees, and that was one of them. But this week we have something pretty exciting too. We just had a chance earlier this week, and we're going to be talking about this before the end of the episode, to play Lockdown or Nemesis Lockdown.
Yeah.
Ryan played it when, Sunday or Monday? Ryan?
I played it Monday. Monday I got to play.
And then Jeremy and I played it Tuesday with some of the people from Awakened Realms, and they were gracious enough. Their Kickstarter started just today, as of while we're filming this. And they're gracious enough to donate a Lockdown pledge level to the winner tonight. So definitely make some comments below, and you'll be entered to win. We will contact you. And this is for the Lockdown only, the standalone expansion pledge level. So you don't get all the old stuff, but you're going to get the new stuff only. So that is really, really exciting. The game is pretty awesome. That's the end of my tease.
Though it is worth noting, of course, this is a Kickstarter, so you'll get your prize when it delivers. Hopefully sometime maybe this year, maybe early. I don't know exactly what the delivery date.
Whenever it delivers, you'll basically we haven't worked out all those details, but you'll basically be a backer eventually. So anyway, before we get to playing some games with you guys, because we think some of the best ways to find out and learn about people is to play games with them. So we're going to play some games with you, but before we do that, we're going to give you guys a chance to just tell us a little bit about yourselves. Tell us about yourselves, about Board Game Coffee. Go crazy.
All right. Well, Board Game Coffee started about 2 years ago. And it was one of those we had no idea what we were doing going in, but we just wanted to do something. Actually, Brittany wanted to do something. So this is her doing. So that's where this came from. One day she just came home, wanted to start a website, and she's like, "Hey, how about we do this?" And she was like, "And you can be on camera." And I said, "No." I was like, "I don't want to be on camera."
Really? You both seem so natural on camera.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's that's not how she forced me into this.
No.
But it turned out for the best. We're having a great time doing it. We've met so many great people, in the industry and just fans, outside, the board game community in general has been awesome, right? It hasn't been
that's good.
How can I say, I'm from the video game industry. I've worked 20 plus years in the video game industry. So growing with that industry, I see the board game industry is where the video game industry was like a long time ago.
Very early.
Nice and kind, right? There's not a whole bunch of giant egos and just people online that you just want to choke.
Oh, there are some egos. But we won't go there tonight. So when you guys started that, Brittany, when you had the idea, let's do something like a website or a YouTube channel, and you guys do a lot on social media as well, just in general. I've loved the drinks thing that you guys have been doing on Facebook. But when you started that, Brittany, or when you guys decided to, were you both board gamers at the time? Was it going to be about board games necessarily, or?
Yeah, we started board gaming together when we started dating. So Mark was more of a hardcore board gamer than I was. I was kind of dabbling into it, but was still kind of figuring out my way a little bit. So
I see.
I was a part of an organization fundraiser trying to raise funds for organizations that help kids and families get into board gaming.
Oh, cool.
I ran a board game and video game convention. So I loved everything about it, but I hadn't got into it as much. And then when Mark and I started dating, and now we're married, we started board gaming together. We loved it, became a little bit addicted, and then
Yeah.
thought, well, maybe we should turn this addiction into something positive and start doing some YouTube around it. So yeah, we wanted more people into it. We found people were coming up to us and asking us to teach them games, asking us our opinions. So we thought maybe there's more people that could benefit from this. So we just wanted to kind of share our creativity and inspire people to be more social around board gaming.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. It's very much hand in hand with a lot of the reasons why we wanted to do what we're doing on Man vs. Meeple. I mean, obviously we do reviews, and obviously this is a business, and we do previews and all sorts of content like that. But first and foremost, we want to be advocates for the hobby, because as gamers for a long time, as we know, there are millions and millions of more people that don't play board games. You know, The cliche is like, oh, you mean like Monopoly, that sort of thing. There's a lot of people who are legitimately out there like that. That is not just a joke. It's actually accurate. Some people my age that I knew from high school will say that, like, what do you mean? Like, and they literally say something like that, and I'm like, well, not exactly. And it's amazing how many people will get into it. And, you know, one of the reasons why we chose the game we're going to play tonight is it's kind of has a board game feel, but it is also video game-ish. And every time I've introduced this game or these types of games to family members, they're fascinated with how this works. And it is effectively, when you play this in a household, because you can play what we're about to play just in your living room, and everyone's sitting around on the couches. I've done this over the holidays with my extended family and all of the nieces and nephews and my sons. They're all sitting in a room with their devices, of course, but they're all interacting with each other and having a good time. Plus, you know, you get my parents in there, so you got the grandparents with all the kids doing this sort of thing. It's great. So yeah, we wanted to do the same thing. Mark, the video game background, I know a little bit about this, but if you could, because we're big video game nerds ourselves,
we really are.
And Ryan doesn't know much about your background in this respect. Tell us a little bit more. What's some of your background? I know you're currently associated with a game, that Foregone game.
Oh yeah, Foregone, Big Blue Bubble. It's Big Blue Bubble is a company I co-founded. It's been like 16 years now, and it's like the game is still in like early release, so it's not complete. But you can play it now. So and Foregone is like, the art team is just killing it. The game looks beautiful, so they're doing a great job. But yeah, so we got Foregone. Board Game Coffee is Big Blue Bubble is the latest video game company I've worked for. When I started in the industry, it was a small company called Sandbox Studios. And I was brought in as an animator, and then I came in and they were like, you know, scrap this whole animation thing. We need somebody to do pixel art for Game Boy Color. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. And they're like, well, you're going to learn. So I did. And then after that, I worked for DICE, the guys who do Battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
So AAA titles there. So I was one of the artists on Battlefield. I did, I'm trying to remember what I did exactly.
Did you work on that Frostbite engine?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember. Was it the Frostbite engine at the time? Because I left Battlefield was Battlefield 2.
Oh, wow.
So that was a while ago, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Big Blue Bubble's been going on for 16 years, so it was at least that long ago.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So I've been in the industry as an artist. I've done everything pretty much other than programming and music. So I've done like game design, art. I've been art lead, texture work, animations, etc. I've done everything except for programming because I have no idea and I have no musical talent. I've even done some voice acting.
Right.
Wow. It is amazing how both the video game industry and the board game industry have that in common. I think a lot of publishers are staffed by people who end up doing things that they didn't necessarily think they were going to do or could do. And it's fascinating to me. You'll find people who may start one way in the board game industry and then find their niche in a very completely different way. I mean, this spans across from marketing to development and all sorts of things like that.
Yeah.
And I do think these industries are similar. I mean, there's a lot of industries like that, but I think in gaming in particularly, there's a lot of creative minds, and everyone always constantly has their gears going. So everyone seems to be open into trying out new skill sets for sure.
All right. Well, I was gonna say while you're talking, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the game. You guys will be able to see, and you guys will be able to see the code. And then once we're ready to actually start playing, then the audience will be able to see as well. So you can keep talking, but we're all going to be on our phones playing this game together. So I'm going to set that up right now.
Hopefully this won't turn everybody into a situation where the four of us are sitting here quietly playing this game and you're watching, because I know that will be incredibly engaging YouTube content.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to try to get my code in here while I talk.
Yeah, you guys see the code up, right?
I can multitask.
Oh, look at that. Everyone is in. That's exciting.
Oh, look, Mark's the only one that went with his last name. Okay.
Well, I figured at this point everybody knows who the rest of us are.
Ryan, I think you can go ahead and start it. So everyone, this is Fibbage. We'll talk you through it a little bit, but hopefully you'll be able to hear the game itself, and there's a bit of an explanation there too.
All right.
I didn't know where our names were going to show up.
I'm glad you put in that and not some wildly inappropriate name.
Right. All right, everybody's in. I've got control of it here. Uh-oh. Game starting.
Game starting. Okay, it should be on everyone's devices, but you can also look right here on Ryan's screen.
Cookie, and I'm the only thing between you and complete chaos. 4 players, huh? Well, let me check my calendar and see if I can fit this in. Yes! Can do. Let's do this.
Barely.
This is round 1. You'll get 500 points for everyone you fool, and you'll get 1,000 for finding the truth. Select
This is a lying game, everybody, and Ryan has to pick a category right now.
I have to pick a category?
It should be on your device, Ryan.
I have to lie to everybody?
Well, no, I think a lot of us will be lying, but you're picking the category anyway, which is Santa.
Okay, here's your first question. The Dutch version of Santa Claus has a helper named Blank Pete. Now use your device to type a lie that might fool the other players into believing it. If you can't think of anything in time, use the Lie For Me button for half the points. Do it now.
So if you can't think of something, you can choose the Lie For Me, but I actually think I might know the answer.
You actually know the real answer? Mine's in. I'm in. Look at that. Oh, there's a time. There's like a little timer going at the bottom. This is kind of intense.
Hurry up. Use a suggestion if you can't think of anything.
I'll tell you guys what people are saying. Board Game Spotlight is in the comments.
Okay, here are your choices. Find the truth and touch it on your device.
None of their answers were on here. Board Game Spotlight suggested Dirty Pete, which I don't.
I'm not sure. I'm just gonna put this out there, everyone. This might walk a fine line into after hours chit chat.
Yeah.
So Brittany gave Ryan 500 points.
I thought Sneaky was at least kind of
boom.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it's a wildly inappropriate Santa helper.
Somebody doesn't know their Dutch Santa.
I guess I am a little behind on my Dutch.
I found that out when my sister lived overseas, and I was like, "What?"
Mark, you chose Potty Pete.
All right, pick a category.
That was mine.
Oh, that was you when you put in.
Brittany, it's you for the category, Brittany.
Oh, Barcelona. Oh no.
Okay, here's the question. According to a University of Barcelona study, surprisingly, 5% of people have absolutely no emotional response when they blank. Type in your lies now.
Board Game Spotlight says that they love that I am absolutely amused by everything. I am absolutely amused by everything.
By the way, when the answers come up, you can vote for bonus points for ones that you liked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, bonus points.
So you can like pick ones that you think were funny, or
Yeah.
it doesn't count for the actual points, but.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Ryan is cleaning up.
I'm giving all them lies.
I think that's the right one.
Oh, it was.
Which
I
means
thought
they
maybe.
just haven't listened to Celine Dion yet.
Need more.
And that
I
means...
need more meta trivia.
They just made a Celine Dion jab, guys. I'm sorry.
I wonder why they don't have emotional responses when they listen to music. Like maybe that's a cultural thing. But like in our culture, you know, we very much tie emotional responses to music.
Okay, I'm chicken. Okay.
Is that Lohan? Like as in Lindsay Lohan? Don't pick that one.
I'm gonna pick
No, that's
Reckoning.
okay.
Yeah, of course you are. Oh, you picked Orbit.
No,
Okay,
it picked
here's the
Orbit for me.
Were you not fast enough?
Ward
I
Shelley
wasn't.
and Alex Schwader's art piece In Orbit,
Oh,
which
no.
was on display at a gallery in New York, featured two men living in a giant blank for 10 days. Enter your lies now.
Boy.
Oh, this is tough. I don't don't know the art world very well. Maybe that's something I should be ashamed of. Oof.
Hurry
Everyone's
up,
really
use a
thinking about
suggestion if
this
you
one.
can't think of anything. Okay, which
who it
one's
is.
the truth?
Oh boy.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
This should be good.
Okay,
This
what
will
did
be
everyone
good.
pick?
Ryan, was that you again?
Oh
Brittany.
no, Brittany this time. Cube, that was a good one.
Brittany gets some points.
That was my
Ryan.
Whoa.
Ryan keeps getting them.
I thought.
You can't trust me.
Is that the truth?
Yes.
Oh,
I kind of thought maybe.
To get it. You see, the
Fix.
wheel is symbolic of their desperate
Fix it
need
in.
for attention.
You're right.
And that
I actually
means some of these
pre-programmed
didn't
all
get
of
picked.
this.
I knew it.
Ryan, is everyone in the comments saying they can hear it okay?
Yeah, they're saying that I'm killing basically, but that's great.
Well, you don't have to repeat that. So
we got a
Ryan-
thumbs up. Does that mean somebody guessed yours?
That,
Yeah,
that means
means somebody
someone-
liked it.
Two,
If
which
someone
means
liked
all
it.
point values
Oh,
are
someone
doubled.
liked
Exciting.
Yeah, that's all you get is like a
Select
pat on the
category.
back.
Points are doubled. Mark, you're up.
Oh, I think he's gonna pick yelling. Oh, single.
Oh, single.
Okay, here's
Uh-oh.
the question.
What does that mean? Because I'm
Bill
loud?
Bennett
I
made
don't know.
news in 2004 when he was able to sell just a single ordinary blank on eBay. Type in your lies now.
Oh.
I think I don't know, man. 2004 was a long time ago. These sound effects are cracking
I
me
love
up.
the sound effects.
Look,
I mean,
are they?
who doesn't like a good fart sound?
Okay, here are your choices.
Oh, interesting.
I know. I have a feeling I'm gonna pick Ryan, whatever it is.
I'm gonna pick one of mine. I pride myself on this
I
game.
actually
and
have
I'm,
no idea.
Let's see what
I'm
everybody
sucking
picked.
so far.
I'm in last place.
Oh, come on. Whose is that?
Ah, I thought maybe
Nice.
a toothbrush.
Ryan.
I almost picked that. I did pick this one.
You
Is
picked
that
pencil.
Ryan's?
That is mine. Sorry, David.
How do you ever? I can never trust that guy.
Man,
Lord.
what was the actual truth?
Hold on, it's my guess.
Oh, Mark got it right.
Come
And
on.
cornflake.
A
And that
cornflake.
means
Clearly,
this
you guys
line
don't know how to
didn't
shop
get
on eBay.
You know what? That was probably a good guess since it was such a bizarre answer. I don't think any of us would have
Oh,
said
Mark
it.
is crawling up.
Place.
Somebody said a kidney. A kidney was what they sold.
All right,
That was
pick
Casey
your
Peterson.
category.
Thanks for that.
Okay, now I'm picking. Oh, I'm gonna pick this in honor of my wife because she loves it.
And she's in the comments right now,
Okay, here's
actually.
the question. In 2013, the Rethink ad agency placed red beer fridges throughout Europe that could only be opened by blank.
Oh, I know this
Enter your
answer.
lies.
No, do you really?
I do.
Into a Rethink ad agency placed red beer.
I feel like, see, Mark's got the in on this one.
But I'm doing something I want to see. If it,
All right, where's the truth?
Oh my gosh.
Huh. I'm gonna say it's gotta be, well, interesting. I'm gonna go this.
That seems too
All right,
implausible.
pick one.
There's only one that makes sense.
I said it. I was like, that's so.
Yeah!
I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I wanted to know.
Thank you for wanting to know.
oh, suckers.
Oh, nice one, Mark. Nice.
That's actually true.
You know,
Yeah,
Mark,
They had to
But they-
scan their
their
passports to get
passports
the
to
beer
prove
out.
it. That's why I wrote in
I mean, they had
passport.
to scan their passports to get their beer out.
clever
And the
gaming
rest
the
of
game,
Well
Mark
done.
Maya.
It's why. So I wonder why they did that. Look at that. Mark just screamed to the top of that
Bam!
list.
Oh my gosh, Brittany, I hate to say, you're kind of bringing up the rear here.
Bottle opener.
You'll have a chance to redeem
somebody
yourself.
somebody suggested police. That would have been a good one.
Mark, it's your choice. Invincible.
Okay,
Hopefully
here's
this
the
is about the Mark
One
Wahlberg
of
movie.
Kim Jong-il's many
Oh, nope.
titles was Invincible and Ever-Triumphant General and highest incarnation of the revolutionary comradely blank.
What?
Type in your lies now.
Oh no. Oh, that was bad.
I want to re-enter mine.
Yeah, I'll tell you afterwards.
Hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something.
This was hard.
Okay, here
This
are your
I didn't even
choices.
understand the question.
We got some good guesses.
Oh, I don't like this.
Oh boy.
I feel like I'm falling stuff.
I feel someone's gonna get a lot of
Okay, what did
points
everyone
here.
pick?
Right, it's not gonna be me.
Mark, nice.
Oh, good lie, David.
I knew it. It was too easy.
Love, huh?
It's love, I bet.
Oh, well done.
Nice. Brittany's
so-
back in it.
Or
So listen.
IAETGAHIOTRCL for short.
I accidentally hit the guess for me button, and it was
What did it put for you?
it put fun for me.
Oh.
Oh
that's
no,
that
my
wasn't-
early
uh-oh.
lead, it's gone.
Oh, I'm coming up on you, Mark Maya.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Command is an
Fi-
excellent lie,
This is
yeah.
it. The final fibbage, everyone.
Question,
Ooh.
and it's worth triple. It's anybody's
Worth
game.
triple, huh?
Okay, here is your final fibbage question.
Uh-oh.
Product name of the gas neutralizer pad that you insert into your underwear, made by the Solutions That Stick company.
Oh
Enter your
boy.
lies now.
I know this thing, but I don't know the name.
Mark, how do you know all this stuff?
I
I'm
don't
concerned.
know what it's called though.
Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything.
Okay. Let's see.
I just can't type
Okay,
today, apparently.
which one's the truth?
Oh no.
What?
This is. I don't know. I don't like any of these.
I don't either. These all seem made up. Every single one of these.
I think they are.
The whole product is a sham.
it's
Okay, let's take a look.
Oh, whose was that?
I got you.
no, don't give Mark more points.
That was good, Mark.
Okay, it was the most ridiculous thing. I thought it had, like... Would that even be a real thing?
Oh, no.
That was...
That was Ryan's.
Yeah.
That
was the
Brittany,
actual one.
Brittany, did you guess it right?
Subtle butt was the real one.
Because she uses them. That's why. It always smells like potpourri in the house.
Subtle butt.
Oh, Mark, I thought
You know
maybe it would be close.
It's that Canadian one. I think appropriate. It was the Canadian one that won it for us.
I gotta say,
You got the thumbs cup.
very good.
Well,
Ryan,
well done.
go back to the main screens while you set up another game.
I will.
So, let's talk about that game, actually. Let's dissect this, because the final scores were 9750, Mark, 8500 me, Ryan was 7000, Brittany was 6500. The way they've built that game, it keeps everyone involved, because those are pretty tight scores.
Yeah, like listen to some of these great comments, though. Alicia says, fart blocker. We had another fanny pad, which I really like.
Oh, that would have been good.
And then fart catcher, which may be apt. That might have been too on the nose. I like that it was subtle butt. Like, that's what a name.
Ryan, I'm just glad that you guessed poo-poo pouch.
Okay, I looked at the answers and I said, what is the... Sometimes, like, the most ridiculous one is true. You're the one you look at and you say, that can't possibly be it.
It's a ridiculous thing. I remember, I've seen the ads for it. It was like a close-up of, like, a bum, and then it was, like, this potpourri-looking pretty gas would come out the end.
Wow.
I've never heard of anything like this. Maybe it's just a Canadian thing.
It might just be a Canadian thing.
Just walk down our streets. It's like, it smells beautiful here.
You know our secrets.
See, you covered up. In America, we just blame everybody else. Say it was someone else.
Yeah.
Before we get back into another game, I did want to talk about the show that you're doing on Man vs. Meeple, which is Playdates, which I said is a little bit about, well, it's entirely so far about couples playing games together. Why don't you guys talk to us a little bit about those episodes you've done and kind of what you want to do with the show going forward?
As far as what we want to do with the show going forward, after we finish, if anybody's got any suggestions, would it be great?
Yes.
Because we've got a long document full of ideas, but we'd like more. But so far, Playdates, the show is about, well, me and Brittany, we're a gaming couple. And we try to bring in other couples into gaming. And we've successfully converted couples that are not board gamers. They were we know board games. We've played Monopoly and Sorry and Game of Life. And we've converted them to either Zombicide is what we covered in our first episode. We've used that. We've used Azul. It depends on kind of the person, right? And trying to really help. It's a few things. Our first episode was about if you are one half of a couple looking to get your other half, your significant other, into the hobby that you love, here are some suggestions on how to do it, things to look into, and some game suggestions. And then the second episode was if you are a gaming couple already, but you want to get out and game with other couples, about the advantages of using something like Tabletopia, right, or Board Game Arena, because those are great for double dates, right? Because we're all on lockdown now, we can't get out, so we have things like this, which is great. Brittany?
Yeah. And where we're going with it, I guess, is we want more people to feel comfortable. I know a lot of my friends who we've kind of converted over to board gaming, they were a little overwhelmed by how many choices there were available. So Mark kind of touched on it, of trying to better understand, like, what are they interested in their regular day life, and then how can we actually use those genres and introduce them to board games here. So we're hoping that maybe we can use Playdates as an opportunity to help people find board games that they might like to introduce to their significant other, or just play together. We're super competitive. We're a super competitive couple, but we've also learned how to leave the competitiveness at the table with the board game and not bring it into the home. And I think that's something you learn over time. So we're hoping that maybe we can help more people bond together in a social way through board games.
Sorry. I'm saying we learned to trash talk each other without hurting each other's feelings.
No, that's great. Maybe it's maybe a whole great topic for another episode is talking about using board games as a place where you can get that out of your system so that you don't do it elsewhere.
Like putting on the boxing gloves, instead you're going to go head to head in like Caverna Cave versus Cave or something.
On that topic and talking about the other half of my board game couple, I'm not sure that what I just said works for everyone because we've played a game, we play games a lot, but we played a game of Pulsar once upon a time, and I made the mistake of taking my very last action in Pulsar 2849 was literally the exact and only thing that Alicia wanted and could do in the game. And it sort of took it away from her. And I'll tell you, we didn't leave it at the table. Unfortunately.
And yet you got married. So
we did get married.
There's a happy ending.
But I'm telling you, after that game, it was at a convention, and we took a long, quiet walk to dinner that night.
Alicia says in the comments that she did not appreciate that move at all.
She did not. It will be something we remember for all time. And we were playing with people we just met, so it was a very interesting situation to navigate.
She describes it as awkward.
I've got two things to say to that. First of all, I think it was a great move. If Brittany knows, if there was a chance for me to like screw her over on the last turn, I would in a second.
Yeah.
And if she didn't do it to me, I'd be like, what are you doing? There's an opportunity there. And the way we sell it is in this house, we take no prisoners, right? Like the Mayas, we out to win, and that's it, no matter what it takes. And that's what the message we try to sell to each other.
However, with that said, we have had nights that you just described where I have walked away
I know.
a little more ragey than usual and maybe didn't start talking to Mark until the next day.
Here's a story. I'll keep this one short. We were playing. Now, another regular on our show, even if he's not always in front of the camera, is Chris, which is actually Brittany's cousin. He built our set. He's always with us on shows. He does playthroughs with us, etc. Now, it was me, Brittany, and Chris, and we were playing a game of Dead of Winter. Now, and we're all at the table, and the three of us at the table, and of course, you suspect everyone. So, sure. Brittany was doing some suspect things. Things like she'd go over to the gas station and we're in desperate need of gas. She'd go there, look through like 10 cards and come out and be like, do you have any gas? She's like, no. I'm like, what? So I was like totally pointing fingers at Brittany. I was like, I was convinced Chris. I was like, Chris, you got to admit, this is suspicious behavior. We need gas. She just came with like half the stack from the gas station. She doesn't have a single gas tank to give. So anyways, that's how the game went. And at the end, this is how it ended. I had the dog, the little what's his face? I can't remember what his name is. The stunt dog.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I had him, and I ran him. I ran him across somewhere, and something happened to him. Like I don't know if he got attacked or something happened, because he's immune to something. But anyways, I performed an action that got the dog killed.
Oh no!
And everybody, and that brought our morale down to 0. So everybody was like, "No, he lost!" And everybody's like, "The dog died," and they're so upset that the dog. Hold on, they're so upset that the dog died. And then I was like, "Oh, that is such a bummer that you guys lost."
Oh no!
My betrayer card, and they're like, "What?"
Oh.
I tell you, those cards have ruined more friendships.
The tone went from like we're all sharing this grievance to just like. Everybody went dead silent.
And he just started laughing.
And Britt's face went so red, she just walked away, said nothing. And Chris was like the kindest soul. I was like, Chris, you understand what I had to do, right? It wasn't me. The game made me the betrayer. I wouldn't have betrayed you if it was for real. And he looked down. He just nodded his head. Like he couldn't say anything. He was so upset.
That is hilarious.
Well, I think she's...
What I failed to tell you is that Chris and I had been working so hard to do everyone's kind of challenge to make sure we could get to the next round. So we were using all of our resources.
I appreciate it.
And then he killed the dog.
All right, guys.
That's how those games go.
I think we want to jump
back into another game of fibbage.
To another game of fibbage. Which
get
we
in
have,
each other's throats.
We have the same players, so we should be able to just go in with that same group. Everybody should have that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So everyone hit same players.
Yep.
I'm hitting it. It's not doing anything.
Yeah, mine isn't
Cookie,
either.
and if I fall asleep during this,
Uh-oh,
just
I
hit
hit
the
it.
screen with a
Hopefully
stick.
you guys are all in. Yeah, you're all in. I see you guys.
Okay, my screen just says, we'll see.
Maybe just hit refresh. Maybe just hit
Yeah,
refresh.
hit refresh.
Round one, and that means you get 500 points
On your
everyone
device.
On your
who
web
made up
browser.
answer.
Okay, I'm in.
You get 1,000 for finding the truth.
Are we,
Time to pick a category.
Brittany, it's on you.
David, I know that you just wanted to pick Reckoning because of Dead Reckoning. Is that correct?
I did. That's what I was wanting to pick.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant's full name
Oh, not
is
him.
Hugh John Blank.
Oh, maybe I
Grant.
will be. Hold on.
Type in your lies now.
Did it pop up for you?
I'm in.
Okay. Oh, whoa.
I feel like the name Hugh John is just ready for puns. Like, that's a built-in name.
Okay, here you go. Find the truth.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna tell you, if I pick Mungo, and it's one of your, if one is your lies,
I don't like any of these.
I don't like any of them either.
I don't like any of them.
They all
See what
sound
everybody
just...
selected.
Oh, damn it!
No.
Nice.
off to a start.
You're a monster.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, Mark. It was Mungo, wasn't it? It was Mungo. Oh!
I don't pick Mungo because
And
you
that's
said
it. Nobody else's lies got picked.
I didn't see that one coming.
You could game the game. I guess you could game the game that way and say your own thing and say, "Oh, if I pick this, we'll see." All
Hey, I
right,
got a thumbs up.
I'm enjoying
All right,
my
pick a category.
lead.
All right, David, what is your
Oh, I gotta pick this.
annoying?
Okay, here's the question.
David
A
Waybright.
2013
Oh.
poll conducted by Public Policy Polling, 27% of voters thought blank should be subjected to a special tax for being so annoying. Enter your lies now.
All right.
All right, this should be interesting.
Yeah, this should be.
If anyone put David, I'm going to end the game right now.
Suggestion if you get
This is David walking away. David
All
walks
right,
away from
where's
the table.
the truth?
Kim Kardashian. Hey!
Oh. Someone put Mark.
No, listen,
I wonder who put Mark.
I want hipsters so bad, but I want to hit hipsters, but it better not be hipsters.
All right, let's see what everybody picked.
Oh, whose was this?
It's Ryan. I knew it.
Dang it.
I thought that was just maybe close enough to truth.
Dang it.
Oh, I thought maybe journalist.
Who's?
Oh, well, we got
nice.
each other. So is hipsters the real answer?
I think it is.
Oh, you almost guessed
And we're
hipsters.
done.
I gotta go with my gut.
Hey, I got points now. I'm on the board.
I don't like where I am on the board.
Oh,
You
okay.
gotta change.
Probably.
Mark, how is it cold down there at the bottom?
Select a category.
All right, what do
Ryan,
I
you're
want?
picking.
Office.
Okay,
What's
here's
show?
the question.
Sure.
It's time for a road trip. When in
No.
Port Vila,
No.
Vanuatu, be sure to check out their post office, which is unusual because it is blank. Type in your lies now.
Wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there a game called Vanuatu?
There is, and I remember you crushed me and Jeremy at it. Do you remember that?
That's the game? Oh,
Yeah, where
we
you
should
have,
be
like,
able
the-
to get this. And check out the post office. Which is
Oh, you know what? I think that's actually on the game board, isn't it? Board
Yes.
game knowledge. Like that's
Hurry,
interesting.
Hit the lie for me button if you can't think of
The
something.
game it's one of I think Quinid games.
Yeah, it is a
Van-
Quinted
Van
game.
Wat-
Okay,
Vanuatu?
here are your choices.
Oh. I think either all of us will get this.
Okay, let's take a look.
Oh, it's not good.
Well done, David.
Oh, you suck.
Oh, Ryan, really nice. Not
Yeah,
going
you're-
with a noun.
You're welcome. But I knew the
Underwater.
answer because of the
Underwater.
board.
Like
But
American post offices
Did you know
that are
that?
just metaphorically
Yes.
underwater. And
I thought-
nobody fell for some of these ingenious lies.
I thought putting floating was just close enough to the truth.
What was it?
Underwater. It's like partially underwater.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that on the board, but that is interesting. That is a board game related question. How about that?
Well,
Now it's
whatever it
round
was,
two,
it got me to
all
where I
point
needed to
values
be.
are doubled. Let's do
I don't
it.
like where this game's going.
All right, pick a category.
Let's see.
Well, you can control your own destiny here. Gift.
Okay,
I like
here's the
it.
question. On
Yeah.
January 13th, 2014, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry presented to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov the odd gift of two very large blank. Enter your lies now.
This is interesting. Gator Dave jumped into the party with a great answer. I'm not going to say his answer.
Maybe you
until
shouldn't.
after.
Hurry
We
up,
should
use
definitely
the
not say
suggestion
Gator
if you
Dave's
can't think of
answers,
anything.
generally speaking.
Okay, which one's
All right.
the truth?
What do we got here? Oh, damn it.
Oh, you know what?
I feel like I'm walking through a landmine.
Well,
see
it's
what
none of
everybody
these.
Selected.
Maybe.
What do you mean it's none of these?
Well, see, that's funny.
Oh,
Gator Dave suggested honeydew in the comments.
Nice, Gator Dave. You and I, man, we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Nice.
The cantaloupe.
I guessed that one, or no, I guessed this one.
You did.
Oh,
I still got some points.
nobody got it?
I don't
No
think
one
anybody
got
got
What
it.
we have
Potatoes.
here.
It was potatoes.
weird. That is.
Oh, I like that
bizarre.
sad
And
trombone
look at
right
what we
there.
have left. One single, lonely, pitiful lie.
By the way, did I spell cantaloupes right?
I don't know. I probably should have checked that before I voted for it.
That's the only
Oh, you
downfall
I don't
for
think
me.
you even did. And
I
yet I
think it's-
still guessed for it.
Time to
Is
pick
it
a category.
cantaloupes? All right, Mark, you get to pick again.
Yeah.
Okay, here's
Oh.
the
Taking
question.
pity on me.
Owning 55,000 of them, Ted Turner has the world's largest private collection of blank. Type in your lies now.
I got it.
You got it? You know it?
No, because I thought that was an OMG.
Some.
Okay, this should be interesting.
All right, where's the truth?
Some great answers in the comments,
Bison.
though.
That's a lot of bison. That's a lot of bison. I'll go that.
I think.
All right, who picked
Paperclips.
what?
I think I know the answer.
Oh,
Oh, really?
I am rocking it.
Man, Ted Turner is like a gun guy, though. So I kind of thought.
oh, yeah. Dave. Oh, look at that. You're not rocking it now.
I think he's also a hat guy.
Yes, I got some
Oh.
points. I squeaked in a little bit of points there.
Well,
So
you guys blew it.
it's bison.
It is bison. I gotta go with my instincts.
He's
I mean,
close to
I-
most
I
people by
know
about
he 55,000
and he knows
bison.
each one by name.
That's the thing is, I
That's the
knew
sign of a
he
good
had
leader.
bison.
Yeah, but I didn't know he had 55,000.
That's crazy.
That's a lot
It
of
is.
bison. David, you are like way taking the lead in this one.
I am. Yeah, but
more than you
it's anyone's game at the end.
Select a category.
Rainy. What do you got? Easy. Oh, dirty.
Okay, here's the question. Utah's Lehigh City Council approved a request to change the name of blank road because it sounded sort of dirty. Enter your lies now.
Family show, everybody. Family show.
Oh.
I can't wait to see these.
Family show. Well, you know what? A little innuendo.
Family show, Ryan. Family show.
Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything.
David, if I fall for your stuff
Okay,
again, I
here
don't know
are
if I
your
can.
choices.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I don't know, man. This. I don't even know. None of these seem like they'd be road names.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't
Okay,
even.
what
I
did
felt
everyone
dirty
pick?
pushing the button.
Oh, Brittany. For shame.
Well, I was
Shame.
Well, that sounds kind of. That does sound kind of dirty.
All
So
of
does
them
this.
said-
Oh!
that had you written all of them.
Oh. Damn it.
Nobody got it,
Well,
huh?
don't you feel foolish?
Really?
See,
I thought.
It's not
That's what I
really
thought
as
I
bad
guessed.
as Avenue. And that means this lie didn't get picked.
I gotta start going with my gut.
Oh, people. Gator Dave knew it was Morning Glory. They're saying that we should do an MVM After Dark at some point.
Maybe we will. Maybe we will.
Okay. Well, I'm
We'll
not
have. Oh, here it is.
This is the final.
This is
finish.
it, guys.
One
This is
question
this is
left for
it.
all the marbles, and everything is worth triple. Good luck.
All right.
Here's your final fibbage
All
question.
right, this is
Jim
it.
Henson's original name for Fraggle Rock. Type in your lies now.
I don't actually know the answer to this.
No. Nobody knows the answer to this.
Hurry, hit the line.
Somebody out there knows the answer. Somebody's at home going, I know this
Find
one.
the truth.
No man, oh man. These are all pretty good.
We are. I know I'm gonna fall for some of these crap. I don't want to push any of these buttons.
Neither do I, right?
I just
It's
don't
like-
vote. I don't want to
I
vote.
feel like when I push the button, I'm
Let's
like,
see what everybody
someone's getting a
selected.
point.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to push anything. Oh, son of a.
Is that Ryan's?
That is
Right.
mine.
I knew it. I felt dirty putting it in.
Same here.
Oh.
Goblin Grove was good.
That was my second guess, right?
Yes! It was correct.
Ryan may
thought,
Ryan may
Nobody
have.
picked the other lies up there.
God,
I
nobody
thought that
that
might have been David's.
Ryan, did you take it away?
Oh, that last round.
That was killer.
Look,
So what was the right answer on that one?
Wazzle World,
Wazzle World?
which I guess Mark and I were just better than you guys today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even though,
I-
yeah.
I feel like I need at least a gold star for being consistently last.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you a gold star for that.
I'll take it.
Take what you can get.
I'll take
So what did you guys think? I know you guys had not played Fibbage before, and I was explaining to, in fact, Ryan hadn't either. I was explaining to them it was kind of like Balderdash, but with some prompts.
Yeah.
Is that a fair explanation?
I liked it that it was like, it wasn't like Boulder Dash where you had to come up with like a whole explanation for something.
Right.
It was just one word, like quick in and out.
And that's brilliant because when I've played this with people who, you've played Balderdash before, if you ever have, there's always often someone who like, I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
And this helps that because it's like, okay, I can just fill in the blank. Plus, I really love the experience of having and I know you guys couldn't hear it very well, but like the commentator, when you're all in a living room and it's happening, it really feels like your family's there kind of participating in a game show.
Right.
And I do think, even though he's cheesy, the announcer, I think that they do a really good job of making it feel like a live experience for everybody.
And that's just one Jackbox game too, by the way. We chose that one for tonight, but there are, at this point, 6 different Jackbox collections, and each one has maybe 5 or 6 games, so that's a lot of different game options.
I think next time there's one called Quiplash, which is effectively the same sort of thing, except you're not trying to convince people with a lie. It pits 2 people in the room against each other at once with trying to be the funniest. So kind of, if you're really punny, you can actually do pretty well at that game. And then the other people in the room vote like who is the funnier of the two. It's still pretty good. But Fibbage is, I love these bluffing lying games a lot. This is one of my favorites for sure.
What if you're not funny, though?
What if you're not funny? Well, Ryan, we'll let you know.
That's fair.
No, you do. And if you fancy yourself a good liar, or if you think you're funny and you play one of these games and then no one is picking your stuff, which has absolutely happened to me many times before, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm funny, damn it. Come on.
This is validation. Guys, I promise I'm funny. Why is no one picking my answers?
These are, like, I swear to God, let me tell you again. Let me tell you the joke again.
Gator Dave says, David, you can't force funny.
Thank you.
Ooh, and Alicia just said, well...
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
A lot of love in the comments.
I think my wife should be uninvited to the comments of these live broadcasts.
Well...
So that was Fibbage. Thanks for everyone for watching. Hopefully that was fun for everyone. I don't know if it was the kind of thing that in the future we might actually, in Discord, invite some people in, but we need to figure out the technical aspects of that, because if you watch the stream, you're going to be watching it a little behind us. So given the fact that there are time limits, you wouldn't necessarily be able to get your answers in. But we do think we have some solutions for that. So in the future, if we do this, we might actually a week ahead of time let people sign up and have all sorts of people participate, because this game alone can hold up to 8 people. Yeah. Which is a blast. So we'll try to do that in the future.
We've got
Go ahead.
We've got a few minutes left. So before we go, though, I want to get a chance to talk about what we've been playing, because we like to end our episode just with like a little quick talk about what games we're actually getting to the table. And I know it's a little harder for some of us being locked down. Of course, you guys were locked down with your gaming partners, so you guys probably have been able to play quite a bit. Is that right?
Yeah, we have actually. Thing is, like, a lot of people come up to us saying, like, you must have time to game all the time since you're locked down. Well, our day jobs we can do from home.
Yes.
But thing is, we don't go out for dinner or visit friends now. So in that time, then we play more board games. So there is some more time, just not like a crazy amount.
Yeah. So right now we've played a couple games of Godspeed. That was one of our games. We play a lot of prototypes. So we just played the Tiny Epic Pirates game, and
Latte
Throwdown. Yep, that was a video that we released today.
Oh, I have to see that. I don't know anything about it.
It's from Analog Game Studios. This is a very simple dice rolling match. Just match dice to complete lattes.
Have you played any more Death May Die since you started playing it a while back?
No, we haven't, but we played a lot of it when we did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So,
we played probably every night for like a week and a half.
And we played like once or twice a night, like 1 or 2 campaigns a night.
So
wow.
We really enjoyed that whole campaign.
Yeah, on that topic, the first episode of Playdates, everyone, they actually talk about co-op games being a good experience. And we know we were talking to you about being competitive with one another earlier, but I too have found co-op experiences to be really, really good way to play with people so that no one walks away from the table with feeling hurt. Unless, of course, someone screws up everything for everyone at the table and they're like, why did you do that? But yeah, Death May Die was an experience that, as everyone knows, I've talked about it a lot. It's a lot of fun and a really just nail-biting sort of tense thematic experience. Yeah. You guys are also playing Zombicide a little bit, right?
We haven't played it. Yeah, we played a lot of it in the past. Recently, the latest one we played was in December, and we were playing Invader.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we played a bit of that. And you know what's great about these games is, like, Invader was the first one we actually got from Kickstarter. All the other ones we just got from, like, your local store. And so we went all in. So we got just like this load of stuff that we tried to play as much of it as we could, but I was like, we're never going to get through all this. It was fun.
So Ryan and I... Go ahead, Brittany.
I'm so glad you brought up the co-op side of it, because that's actually how Mark and I first started playing together before we got comfortable playing competitively, is we started playing co-op games, because I didn't even realize that was a thing when I was coming into the board game industry. So
yeah, a lot of people...
I recommend it.
A lot of people don't, and what's great about that, particularly if you're teaching someone new, one of the things, and this is another idea potentially for one of your episodes of Playdates, is co-op games can be so good to teach people games because sometimes people don't want to really learn all the rules like in detail. And if you're playing co-op, someone can feel more comfortable kind of sitting along and not necessarily having to thoroughly understand how to play the game because everyone's playing the game, right? So everyone's helping each other. And I've found that in the past, if you can take that sort of overwhelming aspect of someone having to understand a game thoroughly, it makes it a little bit more accessible for them to want to try to play it.
I don't want to sorry, I don't want to derail but there was an interesting question in the comments that I wanted to ask for you guys. Between the two of you, when you co-op, does one of you tend to alpha game the other?
No, we try to we do usually I learn the game, so I'm teaching. So I'll usually if we're playing the first time, I'll give Brittany all her options, being like, this is what you can do right now if I'm teaching. So, but once we get familiar with the game, it's a lot of us talking back and forth to try to figure out how do we do this.
Yeah, so we find we actually will play through different scenarios and then figure out what's the best for each of us to do. And then we actually find it's actually a really good building session with us because we can communicate to each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't say there's any alpha. We problem solve together.
And I'll make suggestions. I'll be like, I actually think you should do this.
Yeah.
But
I'll do the same thing.
But if Brittany is like, I don't want to do that, I'm like, all right. It's your I take no offense to nobody taking my ideas. Like, I like to play it as the character is you. You do what you want. I have no impact on you. I can make suggestions of what I want you to do. Yeah. This is your character. This represents you. You do what you want to do. And that's what I want to play, right? If I'm going to tell you, boss you around, I might as well play solo. So
yeah, right.
So I like the random seed of the chaos of somebody else's decisions, whether they be good or bad, or just the two different minds coming together and see what happens, because you get some really interesting outcomes.
Yeah, and it's
right. Go ahead.
No, that's all right.
When you first start playing together, for someone who's maybe not as comfortable, the other person who's more comfortable with the game might guide you through it, but not alpha, where they're telling you where to go by any means.
Now, have you guys ever carried that attitude over to competitive games? Like, I find myself being often, too, Mark, the one who, at least not within the MVM group, but within my other groups and my family, I'm the one who's learning the game. I'm the one who's teaching the game. And even if it's a competitive game, if someone's on their turn and I know they just have absorbed the rules for the first time, I often find myself saying, well, so you could do this, or you could do this, or if you're wanting to do this long term, you might do this. So I usually point those out, where some people might teach a game and then say, you're on your own, and now I'm going to crush you. So where do you guys land there?
I've been on the other side of that.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually, I'm not going to even name the game because if somebody might be listening who was responsible for this. But I was in a game where they were teaching me. I was like, I've always wanted to play this. And I sat down, and I was the only one at the table that didn't know how to play. And they're like, don't worry, we'll talk you through it. And I was like, okay, excellent. So what do we do? And they were talking in shortcuts, and they weren't really describing things. And then everybody was just taking their turns. And I was like, so do I go now? What do I roll dice? Do I place the thing? Do I move? Do I take a card? What do I do? And they're like, oh yeah, you can do any of those things. Oh, okay. So I'll do this. Now what do I do? Oh, play that there. Oh, okay. And then your turn's over. I was like, is it? So I wasn't really playing. I was somebody's little puppet. So I was like, I don't want to play this. I'd rather make my own mistakes. Give me my options, and I'll learn through failure.
Yeah, no, sure.
Right, exactly.
And that's what I try to do, is give people options. And then also I play with Alicia, for example. Oftentimes she'll say, that stop. Don't tell me. I want to figure it out.
I can picture that, actually. Exactly like that.
I'm sure you can. She'll and that's cool too. I am always inclined to want to help. And oftentimes I have a game group of a couple guys who come over on Wednesdays, and I'll help them so much that I end up losing almost every game I play. But then I've helped them play their game and they win, so I often then end up asking myself, shouldn't I just do what I told them to do so I could win? But I don't ever.
I've been there. It's just like the curse of the teacher, right? You're so distracted by everything.
Maybe that's it. I'm also just bad.
I find it's even the case even more if we're recording and I'm teaching a group at the same time. So like we're recording a playthrough, so at the same time like running cameras and running the table
Right.
and making sure everybody's doing everything, and you do all that, and then my turn comes up and it's like I don't know what I'm doing. There you go, your turn.
All right.
So-
we kind of got off on a tangent there. We could
We
do a
did.
whole episode about
We
the
could.
experience of playing co-op games, and I think maybe that's not a bad idea. I think next time we have you guys on, maybe we should just talk about that. But really quick before we go, David, I know we wanted to talk about something we played because it ties into the giveaway we did today, and we
Absolutely.
got a chance to sit down and play Lockdown, Nemesis Lockdown from Awakened Realms.
Yeah, on TTS, Tabletop Simulator, we had a chance to play Lockdown, and I'm a big fan of Nemesis. I've played it a number of times. I will say, when I play Nemesis, you can play it. Have you guys ever played Nemesis by chance?
I've played Nemesis
I
a
have
few
not.
times, but never Brittany has not.
So you could. The main way to play it is coepit. I can't remember the term, but it's kind of like half co-op, half
Yeah.
competitive.
Semi-co-op.
You're semi-co-op. You're trying to do similar things, but then there's hidden agendas, and there's a very big traitor element because one of your agendas might be make sure that player's dead by the end of the game. And whenever I played Nemesis, I usually play cooperatively because it's just been my groups, a little bit more of an interesting experience. I played Lockdown on TTS in the competitive mode with Jeremy and Marcin from Awakened Realms. And it was interesting. The game has some significant differences, and we're going to do some content on the channel that points some of that out. But some of the big differences, just so you guys all know, it's not on the Nemesis ship anymore. This takes place on a sort of 3-level space installation, like on a planet. So there's a ground surface level and then a first basement and a second basement. One of the big things, and you're traveling through those normally, just kind of like you would on the Nemesis ship, but also on the side of the board, there's an elevator. And the elevator and each of those 3 floors require power. And at the beginning of the game, the power is in flux. So only some of these things have power. So when you're on the first floor, there may be power so that when you're in a room, you can interact with the computer terminals. But if there's no power, you can't interact with the computer terminals. Plus, you're in what they call darkness. So the event cards flip over. And in addition to the normal event, there may be if you're in darkness, this also happens. So you need to manage the power going on in this whole installation, and you can use that to mess with people. So if you're on the 3rd floor, you could take someone else's power so that they're in darkness during the event. But it was a really cool thematic experience. It also felt a little less like the Nemesis felt like Aliens, and this felt like Aliens mixed with a movie called Moon, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Moon was about one person on a space station, and they were trying to take this rover out away from the space station, and they're battling an AI. And I can't give you all the details here, but I do think some of the modes that they're going to introduce for this, there's a solo mode that may also spill over to the co-op mode, that where you're battling against an AI that might even be app-driven, which would be super, super cool. Ryan, what was your experience like?
See, I did really well because I focused on my goal. So you get to choose 2 goal options, and I had one in my hand that was very aggressive. It had me eliminating another player, and then I had one that didn't. So I chose the one that didn't because I wanted to kind of just play my own game.
What was it?
It was to send a signal and destroy the alien hive.
Okay.
So I had to do both those things. I was playing with Jeremy Howard, who's also a Man vs. Meeple contributor. The other one I had would have had me kill Jeremy, and I didn't want to go after Jeremy. He's too nice of a guy. So it was a good experience because of that. Now Jeremy Howard and I both chose like our own objectives that weren't PvP, but we played with Martin from Awakened Realms, and Martin came after me the entire game because that was his objective. He was closing doors on me, trying to spawn aliens on me, so it was...
Yeah, that's how I benefited too. So Marcin and Jeremy Salinas are more aggressive players. I don't know what their objectives were, but they were at each other's throats the whole game. And also, my character, that's another interesting difference with this game compared to normal Nemesis. Some of the characters are sort of survivor types, and some of them are people who work at the installation. And when you, at the beginning of the game, you don't start in the same location. If you're a survivor type, and I was a lab rat, so I was actually someone who they'd been doing experiments on at this facility. And they were like the janitor and a security officer, and they started in a whole separate portion of the board. So they were right on top of each other from the beginning. And I quietly just walked around trying to complete my objectives. And I needed to get an alien egg back to the corporation. So by the end of the game, they had killed each other or effectively died, and I quietly got in a cargo pod and launched myself back to Earth with an alien egg in tow and won the game.
An android like an alien, is that right?
Kind of, sort of. But it was a blast, and if you guys haven't played Nemesis, definitely try it. That game came out about a year and a half or so ago, and it has absolutely blown up the charts on BGG. That thing has climbed super fast. And as of right now, the Nemesis lockdown campaign, looking at it right now, is just under $2.5 million, and it just launched today.
Yeah, I was looking at it before we logged on. To do this.
If you guys haven't checked it out, you can actually back it for everything that they had in the original campaign, plus lockdown, which is a fair amount of money, but the game is a really good experience. Thematically, just similar. It's a different game, but it has that similar sort of thematic experience as Death May Die and something like that. But highly recommend it.
I think. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think the atmosphere they developed in Nemesis is superior to Death May Die, personally, because I feel the atmosphere they built on the board is not just contained to the theme. It actually like leaps off the board and is in the people because of this whole semi-co-op thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I want, like, in my character and my real self wants to work with you to my benefit, and as soon as it's not, I got to weigh those options. Do I want to continue to back you, or am I going to stab you in the back to help myself? Like, there's this like real world negotiation metagame that happens over the board. So I think they did a really good job of like tying that all in.
I agree.
It's really good. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in for this very unique and different episode of Chit Chat. Thank you, Brittany and Mark, for joining us. We'll certainly have you on again. Hopefully, Brittany, you've got your voice and you didn't have to shout too loud over this whole episode. Hope everyone enjoyed watching us play Fibbage. Like I said, we'll try to incorporate it so that some of you can participate next time. And until next time, thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.